Hello everybody, I'm John. This is Strategic Investing, and today what I want to do actually is show you guys something that I have been working on for probably the last month or two now. And it's something related to Xtract One. Really, I built it because of some things going on with Xtract One, but I think it could also broaden out and become something actually much bigger than just something for Xtract One Technologies and Xtract One stock. That being said, I think most of you guys that are invested in Xtract One will definitely find this useful, and hopefully, especially to those who are just finding out about Xtract One, this will be even more helpful. And here's why. So right now, if you're new to Xtract One, or even if you're a current investor to Xtract One, right, and you want to learn more about Xtract One, my videos are really kind of the only videos on YouTube. You also have Alpha Wolf Trading that does some interviews with Peter. But really, as far as coverage of news, events, earnings, things like that, it seems like I'm the only one covering it on YouTube, at least at the moment. Now, I'm working on that. There's some things that I'm working on. Potentially, we could kind of broaden out that reach there as well. But this is one of the other things that I'm going to show you that I've been working on here that could also potentially broaden the reach, but also just make Xtract One more accessible to investors, right? Because right now, other than my channel, my videos, things like that, a couple of interviews out there, really Xtract One itself is the main source, the only other source of information. And so if we go to their investor relations page, it's not a subdomain. It's actually just one page on their website, which is kind of one issue. It lacks some of the functionality that you would see. But also, the main thing you're going to an investor relations page for is earnings releases, documents, press releases, investor presentation, all of the things like that. It's kind of really all the way down towards the bottom that we get actually a lot of the information that we want as investors. And we only have here actually access to the most recent earnings webcast. All of the other webcasts, there's no way to get to them from the website. The only way to actually find those is, luckily, RB Milestone still actually has some of those left on their YouTube channel. And if you do some digging on the Wayback Machine, you can find them on Xtract One's website. As far as the presentation, we do have that. The other thing, to get to their earnings releases or MD&A, financials, anything like that, you actually have to go to the CDAR profile, which now, the new CDAR, since they updated it, or SADAR, I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. Sorry, I'm here in the US. It's just terrible. Even when it takes you to this page, you can't actually really get to anything from this page, because when you go to documents, it just brings you to here. You actually have to just go, the quickest way I've found it is to just go back to the front, go to search, then you have to type in, once the website loads, you have to type in the profile name, Xtract One, then you have to pick the date range, then you have to search through all of that. It's just a pain to get to any documentation. And so for investors, current investors, they'll go through that. We'll get there. It's kind of a chore. I also have it on my Discord for any of you guys. You guys probably use that. It's a little easier to get to. But for new investors who are just trying to find some information, this is really a lot to go through just to get some information on the stock, some basic, the last earnings report, or an earnings call from even just, 2 quarters ago. And so what I have done here, because I think this is also something that other, sort of micro cap stocks, very small companies who are listed on the stock market, if you look at some of the other companies like this, they have similar issues. Maybe their investor relations page isn't the best. Maybe it's hard to kind of find information or news or analyst coverage, things like that. And so what I have built here is microcapresources.com. Okay. I have created this new website, microcapresources.com, It is right now mainly about Xtract One, but I am leaving room and I am currently building out some functionality for other different companies, and you guys can maybe kind of see which companies are coming up here next. But what this is first we kind of have just a general description here of what the site is for, the purpose. I am going to have articles, hopefully, that I'm going to be posting weekly. I already have a few on here, so you guys can go check those articles out if you want to. Most of them are specifically about Xtract One, but some of them will be just about economics in general relating to microcap stocks. And then once I add other stocks into here, there will be articles about those as well. But one of the key things on here that I think you guys are going to find really helpful is, so there's a section for Xtract One within the stocks. You just go to stocks, you go to Xtract One, and you can see there's a coming soon there. Some of you guys will recognize that little logo that's kind of grayed out there. But Xtract One Technologies, we have a brief description of the stock. We have the tickers for US and for Canada. And then we just kind of have some main metrics here. We have major metrics and the growth rate as far as revenue, profit, all of that. Main competitors, analysts rating, because some of you guys may not know, there are actually analysts covering the stock, and they do have pretty good price targets on there. I'll show you those in a second. And then acquisition probability. I have it at moderately low. I have a little explanation for that there. I know some of you guys are going to say, no, I disagree. It's a high probability. Maybe it is. I don't think it necessarily is super high right now, but that's my opinion. Just like basically everything on this website. So again, none of this, as it says here, all of this is just my opinion. It's not financial advice. This is not a recommendation to buy Xtract One stock. None of my content is a recommendation to buy any stock, okay? This is just my opinion, the links, the resources that I've found put together for you guys in an easy to access way. So one of those things that makes it really easy to access here is earnings reports. So right off the bat here, I have the last earnings, highlights from that earnings here as far as the major metrics we're looking at for Xtract One. Here's a link to the press release, a link to the financials, and then down here you have everything you need. You have the press release, the financials, the MD&A, the webcast, and even for the most recent ones, you have a transcript of the webcast as well. So you click any of these links, financials, it's going to bring you straight to the document. You don't have to go through any weird SADAR thing, type in dates and the profile and all of that. You just go right here, you click it, and it opens up. Same thing for the webcast. You go to the webcast, it's going to open up the link for the webcast, and that's going to start playing, right? Q4, we obviously haven't gotten. We're hopefully going to get that in the next week or so here. And then you can go back to Q3. I have all of the reports, press releases, financials, MD&As, and webcasts for Q3 as well. I think that's going back far enough for most investors and what they're going to want. So very easy to access here. Just one click of a button, you get exactly what you want. I think for current investors, this is going to be something you guys find helpful, hopefully. And also just for newer investors, if they find Xtract One through this website or find Xtract One and then get to this website, this makes it a lot easier for them to learn about the company, to access those reports, things like that. We also have, and I think you guys are going to really like this, a list of the current contracts, and they're broken down by category. I have logos here and everything. If you hover over any of these, it's going to give you the location, the capacity for the arena. These are arenas specifically. Any affiliation, if it's OVG or if it's MSG I have on there. Down here. So we got an MSG one for the Sphere. We have the status officially announced or speculated, because some of these on here, as I say up here, are speculation. And so the sources might be, a picture we saw on Instagram or something like that. And so all of these different contracts here have all of this information, and they have sources. So if you click on this little document, it'll bring you to a source for that announcement. So this one is officially announced. We have the source here. I have a second source actually for this one. So what's the second source here? Usually it's going to be, okay, it's one of my videos, but a lot of times, a second source might be an article that was written that shows the systems installed or something like that. Okay, so all of these, you have that information. I have it for stadiums, for schools. Obviously for schools in different venues, you're going to have different kind of stats. You'll still have the location and sources, the date announced. But for schools, it's maybe the number of schools within the district, right? I tried to kind of just find what would be the relevant information for each different sector, right, or category of customer. So for Centera, it's the number of locations they have, different things like that. So they're all broken down by category. You can see all of these. The professional sports teams I have, keep in mind, these are duplicates of the actual venue. So obviously in arenas here, we have Madison Square Garden, but of course we know that covers the New York Rangers and the New York Knicks, right? Because that is their venue. So don't think that these are on top of the arenas and stadiums. I kind of spell that out here. These are just duplicates, but this at least shows the reach here for Xtract One, that they are getting professional sports teams and which ones these are. I know some of you guys too are going to say that the undisclosed NBA team is probably the Cavaliers, and the undisclosed NHL team is probably Florida or something like that, maybe the New York Islanders. I don't know that in particular, so I'm leaving those up right now. You guys can speculate as you might. I also have here charts. Now, these, I think, a lot of times, Xtract One does have some charts in their presentation that are helpful. I think it's just nice to have them here as well. And I have some extra ones that I think are helpful as well. We have bookings growth. We have estimated ARR. This is kind of basically going off of what they give us as far as their backlog expected to be collected in the next 12 months. That's kind of a proxy for ARR is what we're seeing. We also have platform revenue year-over-year comparisons and other things like that. So you guys can check out these charts, even contract announcements by fiscal quarter. You can kind of look at that. So some of those I think are going to be really helpful as well. And then finally, analyst coverage. So I've taken all of the analysts that I know about. If you guys know about any other ones or any issues with any of the stuff that's on this site, if you think there's any errors, definitely let me know. Discord, or message me on Twitter or something like that. So these are all of the ones that I know about, including myself. And so we have price targets from two of them. Echelon Capital Markets has yet to give an actual price target, but these are all of the sources for this information. So if we click on this from H.C. Wainwright, this gives us their whole paper on Xtract One, justifying, what they think. This is their, projections, things like that. And, all of the information basically that backs up all of this. So anyone can go check those out if they want. I also have just, if all you want is kind of what their estimates are for earnings, revenue, EBITDA, gross profit, whatever, you can check that out here. Now, right now, mainly the analysts are giving estimates for revenue and EBITDA. And they're not really doing it quarter to quarter. They're doing it on a yearly basis. Probably because at this point, it's still kind of hard to estimate quarterly numbers quarter to quarter for Xtract One. Actually, you can see my estimate in there, 5.4 million. Not crazy confident in that number, but that's kind of what I'm putting out there. I felt, it's fair if I'm going to put these other estimates on there. I'm going to put my estimate on there for the quarter, and I have, in turn, my estimate for the full year. I don't know exactly how they're doing the EBITDA calculation, especially with how Xtract One accounts for costs and depreciation. So I'm going to get a little bit more information before I put my estimate in there so that it can be an actual apples to apples comparison. But I will get that in there soon. And actually, now that I have this website up, once we get their next Q4 earnings report, I will be putting out an entire, probably 8 to 10 page. I'm already kind of working it up. An 8 to 10 page full breakdown of my thesis on Xtract One stock, my estimates for revenue, profit, etc., price targets, when I think they will be profitable, everything like that for the next 2 years, basically fiscal 2025 and fiscal 2026. I will be laying that all out. I have never done that for Xtract One so far. I think it's just something that we haven't really been able to do, but I think we're getting to the point now in the business that, you know, growth is starting to really accelerate. We're getting really actually more numbers now. The way that they report their financials now, giving us gross profit, breaking out, you know, that cost of revenue, that makes it much more helpful when it comes to actually estimating, you know, profitability and things like that going forward. But there's still a lot of wild cards. So, you know, these will be rough estimates, but I think at this point I'm comfortable at least trying to do that. And then, you know, quarter to quarter, I will update those and change them as necessary. But I will lay all of that out probably within a couple of weeks after we get their next report here. So that's kind of really the gist of it here, is just a huge amount of resources here for you to hopefully make your analysis, your understanding of Xtract One much better. You can go back to this at any point, see all of the contracts, all of the earnings reports, and also really, really hopefully make it helpful for newer investors who are interested in Xtract One. If you guys know anybody that's interested in Xtract One, send them over to this website, microcapresources.com. And again, I will be adding some other stocks here very soon. I've actually already am working on some of the pages and whatnot for this next stock here. You guys might recognize on that logo. And I will be adding others down the road in the future. And like I said, hopefully I'll be posting articles weekly on this. If it's something that I can't get to actually sit down and record a video, you know, I have some kids running around here. Maybe at least I can write up an article, because it doesn't have to be quiet for me to write an article. So that is something that I am hoping to kind of really get going. Just boost the channel, boost some awareness about this, hopefully help bring some awareness to Xtract One and some of these other stocks as well. But anyway, hope you guys find this helpful. Other than that, have a great day. I'll see you guys next time.